What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the High Tempo Sports Podcast. This is episode 217. Back in the studio today is a face that you should probably be familiar with if you are a listener / follower of this podcast. Easton, welcome back.
What up? What up?
Last time you were on, we did a kind of a fun little obscure list. We did the top 28 in 2028. That was a fun one. Excited to react to that in 4 years.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I mean, we talk about it. I mentioned Jonathan Kuminga. That take looking great. Put him at 28 in that. He's coming up.
Yeah, I would say that he's still got some work to do before he's in the top 28, but
plenty.
But I also have some guys that I already am just not feeling incredibly confident on, like Shaden Sharp. Don't know how he's gonna get there.
Yeah, you know, it's a weird path.
It's an iffy one.
Yeah, I mean, you got a guards to go through.
Yeah,
I mean, very Brandon Knight. That backcourt, the Suns backcourt.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, when it was him and Bledsoe and Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
And Dragic too.
Was that Brandon Knight?
Brandon Knight was like there at some point, but I don't think he was like a part of that crew. I think it was mainly like Bledsoe, Dragic, Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah. That was crazy. And that's what they're going through right now in Portland. They just have guards out the wazoo.
They do. And they still have Malcolm Brogdon, so
they literally have the 4 guards that all need minutes. Like for Brogdon to get traded, he has to play. Simons is just way good.
Simons is the best one.
Scoot is the second overall pick, has to play. And then you've got Shaden Sharp, who's like the superstar athletic guy who just doesn't play.
And Sharp has been injured for a while, so that gives Portland a chance to, give those other guys more minutes. But today we are here to talk about All-Star Weekend, NBA All-Star Weekend. We're recording this on Sunday. So we're not going to be talking about the All-Star game because that happens tonight. But we're giving our reactions to the All-Star Saturday night events because it's a big deal and it's a very takey thing.
Very takey.
A lot of people have opinions about what happens on the Saturday night of All-Star Weekend, and that's exactly what we're doing today.
Oh, and we've got opinions. I mean, we're coming with opinions. We've got lists today. I mean, we've got a big time list. We're doing our top 2K players ever, which will be an awesome list. And like, what a good episode to have me back on for. Because like, that's something you and I just like, boom, me and Skunk play 2K a lot together. Like, we have played a lot over the year. And then Paul would be the next guy.
I asked Ivan if I was going to ask Ivan if he wanted to come on, but he's out of town this weekend. So it's just you and I. But maybe if I'll have Ivan on at some point to give his take on the top 10 2K players.
I mean, us three have probably put in 300 hours together. 400 hours just together.
Yeah. And that's not even the part that I'm more about the dollars of that I put
I don't want
NBA 2K.
Yeah, that's one of those things you never look at.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about All-Star Weekend. We're going to be doing our own All-Star Draft because there's not a draft this year. And then we will finish it off with the top 10 2K players of our lives. We'll get into more of the details of that when we get there. We'll talk a little bit of NBA along the way as well. But before we do all of that, we need to talk about what happened last night, non-NBA All-Star related, as the 2 best teams in the state of Michigan got dubs last night in the MSU Spartans and the Central Michigan Chippewas. Both over their rivals. It was a fun night to have both of those two, the biggest rivalries in my life. I was at the CMU Western game. It was a toilet paper toss game, the second year of that coming back. And CMU just blows the doors off of Western. Phenomenal game, and they're having a great season. MSU knocks off Michigan in a game that was pretty tight for the most of the game. MSU pulls away. Michigan doesn't score a point for the final 7 minutes of the game, which was pretty crazy. Did you tune into that game at all?
No, I didn't watch. This is the weirdest year of my life. I have not watched any college basketball. I've watched 2 whole games of college basketball. I watched one Michigan game and decided not really much worth watching.
One game is crazy.
I was like, this isn't my team. There are just better basketball options to me that I want to watch. I would rather watch the NBA. So I was way tuned into the All-Star events. Like, I was just sitting there and I was locked into the All-Star.
We were going back and forth. Kind of missed some of the 3-point competition because of the game. But then, like, once Sabrina Steph thing happened, I was like, I want to watch that for sure. So turned the Michigan State game off, but didn't miss any of the dunk contests or anything. But yeah, that's basically just what else was happening in the world of basketball other than the NBA. Let's talk about the NBA, though. Did you watch any of the skills competition?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I watched majority of it. I didn't like it.
No.
Well, Ant Edwards really screwed up the first round with the whole left hand thing. And, like, I like Anthony Edwards. I like how much fun he has. But, like, you do got two teammates. Like, can you take it a little more seriously?
Right.
I was a little. It was just kind of like annoying, but it wasn't anything like entertaining. I wasn't by no means. It was more background noise than entertainment.
And like the skills challenge is never like it has an opportunity to be like one of the more like fun, obscure things, just because there's no like rules. You can kind of just do whatever and say this is the skills challenge. This is what we're gonna do this year. So like that's why people don't like necessarily care that much about it, because it's not some staple. But it can be fun, and picking the teams is fun.
They gotta make it harder. Like they gotta like everything is like these guys. It's too easy for them. Like I want
to see their skills.
Passes.
Yeah.
I want like really hard passes,
not just the throwing the ball through the hole.
The giant hole. Like how do you expect Tyrese Halliburton to miss that? Like seriously, the massive net that he has to throw it into. He's not missing.
Yeah, I wonder what could they implement to make it harder. Like
maybe you do like you could do like an outlet pass challenge where there's like buckets and you got to make it in the bucket and with the outlet pass.
Okay.
Like over like Kevin Love style.
Yeah.
Like who's the best outlet passer in the league?
I like that.
For like a QB long toss, you know?
Right.
You know, like they do. You could do something like that. Shooting, you could probably do like who can shoot it the deepest. Like, you know, maybe you do like an actual 3-point range competition.
Yep.
Because then you could get some cool guys. Like you could make some really cool teams where each team picks a guy who specializes in this.
Yeah.
You know, we need an outlet passer. We're gonna go get.
Okay, I like that.
I don't really know who would be good. Like Evan Mobley. I don't know.
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love still. But then you do then Dame and Steph are both on two different teams for the range challenge.
Right.
They could do something
cool.
just to make it a little harder. And I think it'd make it more entertaining rather than like the time. Sometimes I think the time is what makes it not entertaining.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the Pacers were the winners of the skills challenge. It was cool that the Antetokounmpos were not in the skills challenge this year. Just a little too many years of them being in it. You know, it's time for them to take a break.
But they're hardly NBA players. Like other than Giannis. Giannis makes 3 NBA players, but like the other two,
well, there's 4 Antetokounmpos. And the one year it was Alex in it, and then the next year it was Kostas in it. So like it wasn't even the same 3. And neither of those dudes were in the NBA when it happened either.
They both wore their
G League guys. Yeah. Like Mac McClung wore his G League jersey. But the other team, the number 1 picks team, why is this just getting thrown out of the window that like they just skipped Cade in like the ranking of the last number 1 picks? It was Wemby, it was Paolo, and then 2021 should have been Cade. Now we're going to go to 2020 and pick Ant Edwards. What?
Who didn't try?
But he brings like, I honestly think that is like what they want though. Like they want him to like be himself and be goofy, you know, and like that's like it brought it we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about
you know?
It. You're right. We wouldn't have really, if Cade was in it and took it seriously, we wouldn't have anything to talk about.
And I will say Cade was in the skills. Wasn't he in the skills challenge like 2 years ago as a rookie? It was like team rookies. Yeah. So like
maybe that's why.
It could be why.
Either way, it doesn't matter. It's just you're right. I didn't even realize they like skipped him.
Why'd they skip him? Maybe that probably actually is why, because he already did it before. I would assume.
I guess it makes sense.
But like Cade dominates that. Remember the Rising Stars game his rookie year? He dominated that. He won the MVP of the Rising Stars game and absolutely went crazy. Like All-Star Weekend is his environment.
For real. Like he is an all-star future.
He should have been this year.
Should we talk about Cade right now?
No, we'll wait.
Okay.
We'll wait because we got to talk about All-Star Weekend. Yeah, but that was a skills competition.
It was blah.
It's whatever,
it's
you know.
It's a warm-up.
It's not simple. Yeah, exactly.
It's a warm-up. Everybody's just getting their drinks. Did you see Guy Fieri? I mean, he probably just got a cigar.
He had that in his mouth the whole night.
Never lit it.
I mean, like, I get it at first. It's like, yeah, I'm Guy Fieri. I got a big-ass cigar. This is dope. And then after, like, an hour of it being in your mouth, it's just like
you must love the taste of
why
wet
are you
tobacco.
not just like setting it down?
Oh, dude, it was probably just wet and like apple woody and probably gross.
Yeah,
and because I initially I saw it and I go, is that a candy bar? Is he in a huge candy bar?
Is that a Kit Kat?
Like, no, that's a cigar.
Is that a Tootsie Roll?
Definitely a cigar. It was huge.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the 3-point contest. Like I said, I watched the entire first round, missed the start of the second round, watched the end. Dame Lillard goes back-to-back. My pick was Lauri Markkanen, and he
was bad.
I mean, he was 1 point shy of moving on. He had a bad start, finished strong. The 3-point contest, I think the 3-point contest is cool. I like that they've added the starry ball. I think that's a cool little way to get an advertisement in there while also making it a cool part of the game.
3-point, another
and
big one.
You know, it doesn't have like it's a very important shot and everything. I always have liked the 3-point contest. People are they always got to say how things should be changed. You know, like, oh, they got to change this. Why?
Is that a rhetoric right now going around?
It's just it is every year. Every year it's like everything has to be changed, you know? Like and it's
this
always the
good enough.
You know?
Okay, so here's what does need to be changed.
Okay.
The 3-point contest needs to be the last event.
No, I disagree.
It was the most lit event of the whole night, dude.
The dunk contest always is. The dunk contest is the main event.
But it wasn't better. It's not better anymore than the dunk contest.
I agree with that.
It's more, the 3-point contest is more impressive, and the crowd goes
It is not
nuts.
more impressive.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, maybe I shouldn't. But there are...
I get what you're saying.
Like, it's more of a competition of interesting guys. And, like, when dudes start rattling off 8 in a row...
Yeah, you're right.
The energy gets going big time. And to watch Dame, like, hit the lash... And this year wasn't great because of, like... You know, it would have been awesome to see, like, Dame make, like, 4 out of his last 5 Moneyball rack and hit set, like, 32 and just blow everybody out of the water. But, like, he kind of struggled on that last rack. But to me, it's the better event. Like, I was, like, hyped watching that. It got to the dunk contest, and maybe it was the judges' fault. Maybe this year... The judges ruined the dunk contest.
That's probably more of like the dunk contest just was worse than you loved the 3-point contest, right?
And maybe that's it. But I also love the stars that come out for the 3-point contest.
Very true.
There was one role player.
Yeah, it was Malik, and they usually do it that way. Usually it's all like studs, and then there's the guy that's just like the best 3-point percentage guy, and like Joe Harris used to always be in it, and I think. Was Isaiah Joe in it last year? I can't remember. Like it's always usually guys.
There's guys
of that caliber usually. But yeah, it's usually stars.
And like think about the guys we were picking from to win. We had to pick from Dame, Tyrese Halliburton, Donovan Mitchell, Lowry, Karl Anthony Towns. We had to pick from those guys to
Brunson,
win.
yeah.
Who did we have to pick from the dunk contest to win?
I mean, one guy.
Jay Toppin.
One guy.
What's his first name?
Jacob.
I didn't know it was.
Played at Kentucky. That's the only reason. Like he was a 4-year guy at Kentucky. Yeah. I mean, like. Jaylen Brown is the only guy that actually like gets NBA minutes that
we should talk about his performance.
Came out for I'm forgetting who the other guy was. Toppin, McClung, and who is I'm already forgetting.
Tommy Hawkes.
Okay, never mind. Okay, Hawkes obviously is a real guy.
Yeah, that's a real guy.
Never mind.
That's a real guy.
I just totally blanked on who the 4th guy was.
But I've done that multiple times. I can only remember Jay Toppin.
So here's going back to your 3-point competition thing. And this is why I love this, because I was just complaining about like how everyone has an opinion on All-Star Weekend, and we're giving our opinions. But that's the whole point. I think that the 3-point, like you're saying it was the best event, I think that the Sabrina Steph thing was way cooler than the entire 3-point competition. I enjoyed that more.
I didn't
personally.
Now, did I love it more than the dunk contest? Yeah. The Steph versus Sabrina was awesome. Like I thought Steph versus Sabrina. I get why they did it. And it's the first year. I didn't love all the interviews.
Yeah,
like in the middle of it.
In the middle of it.
Like I just kind of wanted to watch them like compete without having to say anything.
Right. And they did that during the dunk contest too, which was just kind of. It definitely was a little like because the answers are just like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there and dunk
again. Yeah. How are you gonna beat Sabrina here? Shoot threes and make more.
I'm gonna try to make them.
Like, what do you really expect him to say? What insight are you going to get?
Yeah.
Because he's just a shooter. Like, this guy just does it.
Right.
But it was, to watch the masterclass that both put on. Because
it was very good.
I would say that 6 people put on, like, a shooting masterclass. I would say 5. Like, the 3 finalists from the 3-point contest and Sabrina and Steph, just, like, how can you be that good of a shooter? Now, I would say Tyrese, but his tiebreaker round was really bad.
Yeah. And like and it was cool to see that many guys. Like the first round of the 3-point competition was a lot
awesome.
I mean, like what, 4 guys had 26 or 3 guys? Like that's
4.
And then Sabrina obviously got 26 on her run. Yeah, I think that the reason I guess that I probably liked it more also is because it was new. It's a first time seeing something, and it's just the excitement to see something fresh and new is cool. I think a 1v1 3-point competition is a really cool thing. And heck, I love that somebody on Twitter I think it was like as a joke, sarcasm, but I love the idea. Have this every year, Steph versus somebody. Bring out somebody to play Steph and see if they can beat him.
Why isn't I think Steph versus Dame needs to happen next year. Who's the 3-point king, dude?
Yeah, but then why are they just? Champs? But then they should just both be in the regular competition, you know?
Yeah, but I just think like they're both 2-time champs, and the 1v1 aspect makes it more special.
Yeah, but I think the whole point is to bring somebody else out though that isn't an NBA, right?
Yeah. But who would you bring out?
Like Caitlin Clark next year.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark.
Have her run it against Steph.
So it'd always be a girl?
I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I'm just trying to think, like, who else would it be? A college player? Someone that actually has a chance of beating Steph isn't in the NBA. It's the WNBA, like that's really the only option.
Yeah, for real. Maybe. Okay, so we're saying like Steph
You can't just bring out some
it's-
rando.
This is like a free shot to beat Mike Tyson, like kind of thing in a boxing match. Like there might be some. What was the guy who scored like 130?
Oh yeah,
in the college game.
Yes, Jack something, Jack Taylor or something like
I think
that.
that's exactly
something.
his name.
I remember that. Yeah.
Like he would be a guy that like if this happened 4 years ago, it'd be kind of cool for him to come out, and I think that's actually right. Caitlin Clark would be fired next year.
Bring out JJ Redick. You know, have him take
washed,
have him take a break in the suit. Let's see if he can beat Steph. You know,
I love the Steph versus every year
Somebody,
idea
yeah.
as well, but I just think Dame would be a cool one. of
and
these years.
maybe if Steph just but maybe like you do Dame versus somebody next year. You know, maybe it doesn't have to be Steph.
Maybe
like,
it's maybe the 3-point champion.
it could, as long as they don't want to do the actual contest or whatever like that. I just like that idea that they added that basically.
I want to talk about Kenny Smith.
Yeah, that was bad. And it was bad not just the Sabrina stuff, like even just in the dunk contest. Like he was just hating the whole night.
Like, Kenny, do you want to be out there? Like, are you like jealous? He sounded so bad, dude.
He was just like so like salty.
And what were the comments about like, well, it wasn't really fair because Sabrina had to shoot from the NBA line. She did just fine.
And he's saying that like as she's doing it too. Like in the middle of her run, he's like, yeah, but she's using a women's ball, so.
And she's shooting from the NBA line. Like, that's wrong. She should be shooting from her own line. No, dude. And she didn't want to.
She was the one that wanted to shoot from the NBA.
Somebody
line.
called her out on Twitter because it originally came out that she was going to do WNBA balls from the WNBA line. And Kenny, you know that if she would have won the contest shooting from the WNBA line, the very first thing people would have done is discredit her.
Yeah. Even if she would have won this regular one, they would have discredited her because she's using a women's ball.
She is trying to wipe out any of what anybody can say. And I think from the same distance makes 1,000% sense. And the different balls make sense. They've all, like, what? Do you expect her to use a men's ball? Like,
yeah.
Like, she's never shot
Literally.
with one.
That's not what...
It makes
even
no
having her
sense.
shoot from the NBA 3-point line is like, it's a major difference from the WNBA 3-point line.
And I loved it. I love that she did it. I love that she took that challenge on. Because she
was great at it. She had 26.
great.
She made her first 8 shots.
Yeah.
Like didn't miss until the second rack. Yeah, I think that, and it's just it sucks because you know that something like this, having a female from the WNBA, which NBA culture is very toxic towards the WNBA. Obviously, you know that this automatically is just going to bring criticism, hate comments from people. Like on NBA Twitter and everything. It's just how the NBA world is. It sucks. It is what it is. So for Kenny Smith to like literally feel like, hey, let's bring this dude off Twitter that's got 28 followers that's talking all this hate about the WNBA. Let's have him broadcast the game. Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like Kenny Smith was doing. He felt like one of them Twitter accounts.
He felt like Twitter. He felt like the voice of Twitter that night.
Dude.
It was like he was checking his phone after every play and was like, what's Twitter saying? I'm going to agree with them. Oh, Sabrina, doesn't even count.
Yeah.
She's blah, blah, blah. Oh, dude, shut up. That was awesome.
And then, like, the dunk contest, he's just talking the whole time about, like, he's hating on the judges at one point, but then he's hating on the dudes that are dunking, and then he's hating on, like, they can't discredit them for not missing the first dunk. Like, he was just spewing. He was just talking.
He was just talking. The whole Darnell Hillman thing, where he called him Tillman.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a pretty NBA knowledge guy.
I've never heard of him.
Don't know Darnell Hillman.
Never heard of him.
And he low key was trash.
But Kenny, say his name right.
Yeah.
And then Fred. What did he call Fred? He didn't call him Fred Jones.
Brown, or is it Fred Jones?
It was Fred Jones.
Okay.
But he called him something different, and the other guy's like, "Dude, that's also not his name. Like, you are being so disrespectful."
Yeah,
right now.
I did not enjoy what Kenny Smith was. I didn't have the volume on the entire dunk contest strictly because it was just like, there's no point. Like,
yes.
This is
and then did you ever hear what he was saying about GP? GP is a hater. Gary Payton's a hater. He shouldn't.
Oh
be a
no,
judge.
I didn't see that.
Gary Payton's a known hater. Dude, Gary Payton also will clamp you up.
Gary Payton is also a part of that one dunk video with Jordan Kilgannon, where you know that
And he's like,
that video. Gary Payton
the jaw hits the
he was
floor.
doing the opposite of hating. Now, obviously, that's a professional dunker. Like
Yes.
that's not some dunk contest NBA. But like he'd be watching these cool dunks too. Like I don't know.
That was a dunk contest he was judging.
Yeah.
Like, and it was a professional dunk contest he was judging. What do you mean Gary Payton's a hater? He's probably judged more dunk contests.
Yeah, probably.
And like, I didn't think Gary Payton was the bad judge. I thought it was the only issue.
It was Hillman.
Though, and the big issue was that 46 on the first Mac McClung dunk. That was the big bad grade that screwed up the whole dunk.
Let's officially move on to the dunk contest because I think we've, spent enough time on the 3-point. The dunk contest was bad, and I'm a part of that group, and I think most people can agree. The dunk contest sucked. Mm-hmm. And the dunk contest in general isn't that cool anymore. But I think the biggest problem with the dunk contest from NBA fans is every fan goes into the dunk contest with it in their head, this is going to suck. The dunk contest sucks now. It's just not what it used to be. I think everyone thinks that, so that in every dunk that happens, they just that was decent.
Yeah.
And it's just no, that was a pretty damn good dunk. I don't know. I just think that the dunk contest doesn't suck that bad like everyone thinks it does. Now, last night, it sucked because the judges, Toppin and Jaquez got screwed. Toppin specifically got screwed,
dude. He had an awesome night.
Jaylen Brown had the 2 worst dunks of the first round.
Easily.
Of the whole group. And advanced.
Dude, the Kai Cenat jump. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Kai Cenat. That was the worst dunk I've ever seen.
He jumped over a 5'6" dude that was sitting.
Dude. And looked away. Faked elbow.
And then dabbed.
No, that was him trying to say, I didn't look at the rim.
Like the D Brown thing? Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing, dude? You didn't even, he dunks it and then looks like he tried.
And this is another thing.
And then to flash the Boston floor in Indiana.
Yeah.
You are in Indiana Stadium. You're going to put Boston's floor
there. That's
why
everybody was booing there, because everyone thought they were booing because of the dunk. I assume it was because of the court thing.
Why wouldn't you? They're the most hated Eastern Conference team ever.
Literally, yeah. This is the issue with fans. Trust me, I'm all part of the bring the stars out. Bring out Ja. Bring out Zion. Bring out Anthony Edwards to the dunk contest. But also, those guys are in-game dunkers. Yes. Jaylen Brown is one of the best. He puts down a poster a week. He posters guys all the time in games. But they don't have the tricks. They don't have the Jacob Toppin, the Mac McClung, the Hamidou Diallo when he won it. Those types of tricks. That's why I think if we did bring out Zion and Ant, it's just going to be a bunch of 360 windmills, which are cool.
Definitely.
But the tricks is what makes it cooler, jumping over dudes and shit.
I love a 360 windmill.
Oh, I do too.
I would rank that higher than jumping over. If somebody would have pulled out a 360 windmill, I would have liked it more than Hami's first dunk over Shaq.
Okay, yeah. That's fair.
I would have enjoyed that a lot more.
Yeah.
And I think it's a more impressive dunk. Even though, yes, you are jumping over somebody, you're jumping much higher. The 360, remember Max last year?
Uh-huh.
But he windmilled, he went opposite his body.
Yeah, that was
He was
incredible.
going opposite, which was unreal.
And when Vince Carter first initially pulled out the reverse 360 windmill.
That's one of the greatest dunks
And then
ever.
Paul George did it in a freaking game, which was crazy.
And that still, if that was in a dunk contest, you'd have to go, wow, that's a 49. Vince Carter's one of the greatest dunkers ever.
Yeah.
If you can recreate that, that's impressive. Because I don't know if a guy like Hami could recreate it the way they do it too. There's a gracefulness.
Their body just torques the. Yeah, exactly.
It looks smooth. Mac McClung's one dunk that he missed, where it was going to be the best dunk of the night. And then you see, and they called it out on the broadcast where he didn't quite cock it back as far on the second attempt. But if that first attempt falls, that was the best dunk of the night because of the way he did it. There's just a smoothness and fluidity, and it's so impressive to watch these guys. And you're right. I think that is part of the issue is people aren't looking at this as impressive anymore. And it's go to your LA Fitness or go here to our recreational basketball courts. Dudes can, if they're dunking, they might get a back scratcher.
Exactly.
They hope for a back scratcher.
Well, and also a lot of people just say the dunk contest just isn't what it used to be. I tweeted a video yesterday. Dominique Wilkins won the 1985 dunk contest, which it was. I think that was one against Michael Jordan. It might have been 86 with a 50, and it was just a two-handed. He just did a windmill with two hands and got a 50 and won the contest off of it. That's the worst dunk of the night easily.
Oh, easily.
Last night,
easily.
And I get it. It's more of just it was because stars did it, and it was no one did it before then. I understand for its time that was a very impressive dunk. But don't be saying the dunk contest ain't what it was used to be. No, these are the best dunks we've seen Every year they get crazier and crazier. It's just we've seen
except
similar versions.
we have never had an Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine year.
You're right, and
that's the only year.
Exactly.
And that's the Aaron Gordon Zach LaVine has like ruined it.
It ruined it
because they are the most like Aaron Gordon's an Olympic high jumper type of jumper. Like,
they brought out
high he can jump,
and they brought out such creativity with their dunks, like
unreal.
And yeah, I mean that was just also that the first dunk from Mac McClung, or it might have been his second dunk. How was that not a 50?
The where he tossed it to himself.
You know how
that was
long
when he got like a 48.6.
I think like someone gave him like a 47.
That was Darnell Hillman gave him a 46
because I think it was his second try or whatever.
Yeah.
How is that not a 50?
That was the best.
You know
dunk.
how long you have to hang in the air to hold it and then toss it to yourself?
Your hand speed? Like to toss it, make it obvious you tossed it, and then catch it again.
And once again, Kenny Smith was like, "Oh yeah, but I mean, he just like does a quick like takes his hands off, like just kind of discrediting the dunk." I'm like, dude, that dunk is crazy impressive,
so crazy. It was, and Mac McClung is awesome. If you're hating on the dunk contest because Mac McClung is winning it, you're part of the issue, dude. Like you complain about the dunks. We bring the best dunker in the league, and you know he might be in the G League, but he's in the league. And now you're gonna complain that he's the one winning it, even though he's the best dunker. I don't know.
It's and this is what that's my argument for.
It's almost like a circular argument.
And like I talk about this all the time on the internet, but like NBA fans in general, just they hate their lives. They hate everything about the product that they watch. They just complain. It's just such a negative, complaining hater environment. It's so weird. No matter what goes on, people find a way to complain about the NBA, and it's mainly just sports in general, but specifically the NBA. It's
NBA's
just
bad.
It's so hater filled, and it sucks. You can't just sit there and watch a game and be like, "Wow, that was awesome. That was really cool." Now, like I was hating on Jaylen Brown last night, but I was mainly hating on Jaylen Brown because the judges were rewarding him for having worse dunks.
Dude, he was so bad.
And did they have an agenda, like to have a more star player in the finals because
it looked like
they
were trying to force Hami and Jaylen Brown in the contest, but Mac McClung was like, "No, I'm going to force my way." here.
Jacob Toppin got screwed.
1,000%. His dunks were.
He had great
his
dunks.
First dunk? Did he jump over one dude and do his first dunk was really impressive.
I can't remember. Let me see if I can look it up really quickly.
The dunk contest will not be fixed until we accept it for what it is, right? Is that our point that we're trying to get it across?
Basically, like everyone always is just trying to think of like how do you fix the dunk contest? Like
you bring Zion and Ant Edwards in, right? Let's make the perfect dunk contest.
I think it makes it worse.
They would have lost to Mac McClung
and Jacob Toppin. They're not doing anything better. Like those guys are phenomenal dunkers, but I just don't think they bring out the tricks.
Zion don't even dunk like that no more.
No, like
he ain't even dunking like that.
Like I said, Zion's gonna come out and do a 360 windmill, and it's gonna be cool, but it's gonna be like Mac McClung's gonna come out and do that over top of a dude.
Yeah.
You know,
for real.
Okay, let's see Jacob Toppin's first dunk. Oh, this is every dunk this season. I don't want to see his in-game dunks.
So he actually is currently on the G League, right?
Yes, but I think he's like a two-way with the Knicks, so that's why he's rocking the J.
His first dunk was just
he did the dunk over Shaq. Like that's a good dunk, dude. That's better than Jaylen Brown's dunk for
barely
sure.
Pushes off, puts a hand on, barely pushes off.
Yeah, I mean that's a I think he full verts this.
Yeah, he doesn't push off.
Doesn't push off, full vert, dunks it and goes reverse.
That's crazy.
That was probably one of the best dunks of the first.
That's
round.
better than the Shaq dunk.
That's like that. That's a 49 minimum.
Absolutely.
And it's just so frustrating. I got to see this Mac McClung dunk again. What was this, bro?
Dude,
you brought up some Dominique Wilkins
actor. Is he like an actor in a TV show?
He's got to be. The problem is
that's his best.
That's a solid dunk, but
that was his best dunk of the night.
I do think that the lefty with the glove, like that was a good dunk, but the gimmick, it was super corny for sure. But I think like the actual dunk was pretty solid. But this is the problem on this specific dunk. Kenny Smith and Reggie Miller, they're like, well, I just love like this is a 49 because they bringing out the Dominique and they're showing respect. This is when he rocked the Terrence Clark jersey. Rest in peace to Terrence Clark for sure. Shouldn't give you more points in a dunk contest.
Has nothing to do with
and that's exactly the first thing they said. They said, "I love the tribute to Terrence Clark." Yeah, so do I. Doesn't change the dunk.
No, absolutely not. And that's really the issue. I go back to thinking about my favorite dunk in the dunk contest ever because I think it's the perfect combination of creativity and athleticism. Was the cupcake dunk. where they
blew out the candle.
Blew out the candle.
Was that D Brown too?
I'm not sure, but
I can't remember. No, wait, was it Gerald Green? I think it was Gerald Green.
That's the best dunk ever. It's the perfect
That's a fun
creativity
one.
mixture with that's better than anything Jaylen Brown did with his gimmicks.
Yes,
his
and he had a lot of gimmicks.
Cool than that one cupcake because it actually worked into his dunk. The Dominique tribute was just, oh yeah, this is a Dominique Wilkins dunk. That, by the way, again, happened 30 years ago. We learned to do this one. And it was his best dunk. Was that his best dunk? It was.
Maybe. And it wasn't even that good. That's the problem.
It was a 47.
Here's the Mac McClung dunk, obviously. I mean, that's incredible. That's a 50. How is that not a 50?
Dude.
I know you guys can't see what we're watching right now, but we're reminiscing the dunk contest highlights because
we just should have been watching it together, clearly.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
but
either way.
You knew it was bad. Okay, so I'll tell you, NBA All-Star Saturday night did a good job. When I first told me and my girlfriend, we made chopped salad sandwiches last night and whatever. We were just like, we're going to hang out at home. I was like, I want to watch the NBA. And she's like, I was hoping to watch The Bear tonight, the TV show we've been watching. I was like, well, it's the NBA All-Star Saturday. I'm going to turn this on. And she's like, okay, I guess I'll read. I turned it on, and she was locked in. From the start, she loved the three-point contest. She was like, this is awesome. She loved the Sabrina and Steph challenge. We get to the dunk contest, and she starts complaining about the judges. She was instantly like, there's no way. She's like, that Mac, and she looked at me and was that Mac McClung dunk was unreal. She was so livid by the third round. She's like, they've ruined this. This is terrible. They should get me out.
And it's not the first time.
How can she know?
Yeah.
How does she know that you guys are screwing this up?
That's the line right there.
She knew, right? Wait, she saw that Mac McClung score and went, that's terrible. That was by far the best dunk.
Yeah, exactly.
So bad.
Okay, yeah. I think that we can move on from the dunk contest and the three-point contest. Let's move on to today's game. Like I said, you're going to be listening to this probably after the All-Star game anyways, but we just thought this would be a fun little thing to do. We are going to draft. We're going to do our own All-Star draft as if we were the captains because they got rid of the All-Star draft. They decided to go back to East versus West. Once again, not sure why Adam Silver keeps thinking that these little things are going to fix All-Star Weekend. I don't think anything's going to fix All-Star Weekend. Guess what?
It's just a fun mix-up.
It's also probably still the best All-Star in professional sports. The best All-Star event.
Better than the NFL.
Way better than the NFL, except low-key, I have a hot take about the NFL. I think the little game things that they do is way cooler than the Pro Bowl.
I agree.
I think they are cool to see them do them, play dodgeball. I think that's cool.
Me too. I think it's just fun to see them out of their element.
Yeah, exactly. See them do
dude, baseball is not bad though.
And that's what I was gonna say. I think baseball is probably MLB's is probably better just because the home run derby is just that's the best. That's the best specific event. And the All-Star game does mean something towards the winner, so they actually seem to be trying a little bit. But yeah, the All-Star game today, it's probably gonna suck. It's all right, but the NBA is still everyone tunes in to Saturday night All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
I think Saturday night is the big thing. The actual game is just
it's the final thing. It's all
cool.
the players finally get to play. Get to hang out with each other. But yeah, it's kind of whack. And again, it doesn't need to be necessarily fixed. You hope once every few years you get a good moment, a good game. You hope you get more. I guess Luka and Trae Young was Rising Stars game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But you hope for moments like that, or the look at me, I'm fast like Fox, or doing my Fox impression. Those are the moments you hope from this All-Star game. You're not hoping these guys are out for blood against each other. If you're expecting that, your hopes are way too high and you're going to be disappointed. And these are the fans we're talking about.
And it's also just it doesn't mean anything.
Why would they try?
It's just a fun thing that happens every year. It doesn't need to be fixed necessarily. Okay, let's move on to the All-Star draft. Like I said, we're going to pick our starting lineups and bench, and then we are going to do the 2K draft. So Easton, you are the guest, so I will let you have first pick here. This isn't a snake draft. We'll just go back and forth here. We're going to pick between the 10 starters, build the best squad, and see who we think would win in the actual game. You go ahead.
We're not doing a full team? We're not doing reserves too?
No, we'll do reserves too.
Okay.
Just starters only. Yeah, starters only first, then you move to reserves. So you can't pick a reserve to be a starter. It's just you pick from the starters.
Yep.
So go ahead.
Nikola Jokic first overall pick.
Jokic first, yeah. That is completely fair. I'm gonna go with Luka. I can't let you have Luka and Jokic. I know Giannis is there, but I gotta take Luka here. I know he wasn't a captain, just like Jokic wasn't a captain, but give me Luka.
Yeah, and I gotta take Giannis. Giannis and Jokic just
there was
only one guy who could guard Jokic and it was Giannis, and like I now have him. Like,
Yeah, fair. They're also just a fun, like they were teammates a couple years ago in the All-Star game, and they were goofing off so hardcore, and that was hilarious to see because they're both pretty silly guys. Okay, so this is where it's like, there's definitely like the 3 top dogs. I feel like with those 3, there's some guys here that I definitely am debating between. I think I'm gonna go. It seems early to pick him. I'm gonna go with KD. Give me Kevin Durant. To pair up with Luka.
That was my next pick. If you weren't going to take KD, I was going to take him, which would have just been a ridiculous.
So you have Jokic
team.
and Giannis right now.
I mean, you just have to go with Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Like Tatum at the 3 with Giannis and Jokic just is unbelievable. And you just have to take LeBron now.
I'm not going to.
Really?
I was debating between KD and this guy, and he got to me.
Yep.
I'm taking Shea.
Taking Shea.
Give me Shea. Personally, I think he's the MVP of the NBA right now, so I got to take that.
I mean, I could just throw LeBron at the 2 guard.
You could.
But I'm not going to do that because I want my favorite player in the NBA. I'm going to take Tyrese Halliburton.
Yep. That is a solid pick right there for sure. Okay, so I'm picking between Dame, Bam, and LeBron. I feel like that's a pretty easy pick. Give me LeBron.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty simple, wasn't it? I definitely don't want and I definitely don't want Bam. So I'll take Dame.
Dame, okay, yeah. Yeah, Bam is definitely the worst starter, but he was a injury reserve. Nothing against Bam. He's having a phenomenal year, and I can try to have him guard one of Jokic or Giannis, so that will be nice. So Easton's starting 5 is Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton, and Dame Lillard. My starters is Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant, Shai Gilgeous, LeBron, and Bam. Cool. All right.
But you've got a much more well put together backcourt.
Yeah.
My backcourt doesn't really work.
No,
Luka
not really.
and Shea totally works.
Yeah.
Like that's a fine backcourt.
And Tyrese and Dame, they also like are rivals now. So
yeah. They don't even like each other. They might not go in the locker room.
There might be a
together.
little bit of beef. Yeah,
For real.
Okay. Moving on to reserves. I get first pick now since you got first pick in the starters. I mean, like Steph just seems like the good pick here, but you know what? I have a different guy I'm going to take. I'm going to take another guy that is in MVP consideration right now, having an incredible year. I'm taking Kawhi with my first pick off of the bench. I think Kawhi has been incredible this year, and if this was a game that he might try to care about, he would be phenomenal to have off the bench.
Man, this is not easy. Like this gets really tough here.
It does. You could go a number of ways here.
So many ways.
Okay, wait. Here's a question: who's the last pick? Is it kind of obvious?
It's definitely an Eastern guy. Like it's definitely not somebody in the West.
Like it's Scotty Barnes,
It's
right?
Scotty Barnes, Brunson.
Yeah, no. Brunson doesn't go
Yeah,
that
you're
low.
right. You're right. There's no way he goes low. I'm taking
Over
him.
Cat. Yeah.
Facts.
Also, Sabonis up there for top All-Star snubs, like in NBA history.
Ever.
I think.
Me and you are both Sabonis guys.
Yeah,
We're
I mean
both
he's
Sabonis
been
guys.
incredible this year.
But clearly not everybody agrees with us.
Like he's just one of the best offensive bigs in the NBA, one of the best screen setters in the NBA, one of the best at finishing possessions defensively, one of the best offensive rebounders. Like I don't know.
I got
Over
my
Cat.
pick.
Go ahead.
Anthony Edwards. I'm gonna go
Really?
Ant. Yeah.
First pick off the bench.
Both my guards aren't two-way guards. They're one-way. They're offensive-minded. Ant can get in a chair, dude. He's gonna get in a seat and he can lock up. He's also the best matchup for like Luka now.
Right.
Like I need somebody that can guard up.
Yeah,
a
it's
little bit.
facts. I mean, Tatum probably is like your best matchup for him.
Yeah, Tatum actually. I've never really thought of that. That's a fun matchup.
Yeah, I assume he would be on your squad. Okay, I'm taking Steph. Like, I don't think there's any question about that one. Give me Steph. So I have Kawhi and Steph off the bench now. Back to you.
I took Ant. I'm gonna take Anthony Davis.
Oh, he has both of the ants.
Yep.
AD's a tough one. I needed him with your bigs.
Yeah. My defense is now like we're getting in a freaking chair, dude. We sit in that thing.
Okay, I have Kawhi and Steph right now. I'm debating between two guys currently. And like, yeah, no, I had to take him. Give me Devin Booker. I think D Book off the bench is a good pick. Got ejected against the Pistons the other night. Hopefully he's good to play now.
0 Eastern Conference All-Star reserves.
We have.
Western
That's
Conference
actually
reserves.
crazy. I almost just took one. If that makes you
And
gives you any hints.
I really, really, really want Paul George. Because I don't need Brunson. Like I don't need him by no means. Yeah, I'm gonna go Paul George.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I was gonna take Brunson, but now that I'm looking at it, like I have Steph and Book off the bench, and I have Luka and Shea. Don't really need Brunson at the moment. Like I could use him eventually, but currently I don't really need him. But it's also just a lot of guards here anyways, so that's what kind of makes me think, you know what, actually, I'm not going to take Brunson. I'm going to take a guy that has been super underrated all year this year, and he's a guard, but I don't care. I'm taking Donovan Mitchell.
Underrated.
Donovan Mitchell has been... He's not getting talked about. I mean, Cleveland is just...
he's been better than Brunson this year.
Probably, yeah. And they've been on an incredible run. And the lead of him, when Garland and Mobley are out, he carried the load, and they've been one of the top teams in the league. So give me Donovan Mitchell. So right now, off my bench, I have Kawhi, Steph, Booker, and Dono. You have Anthony Edwards, Anthony Davis, and Paul George. Will you add into that mix?
I've got this, I love the guards left, and I know one of them is going to get back to me, and I really want to fill that 4 spot with a guy, and just really thinking here. I think I stretched the floor well enough. I'm going to go Paulo Banchero.
Okay. I was definitely going to think about taking him if he got to me. Okay, so how many guys do we have left here? 4 guys left, I believe.
Tyrese, Brunson, Brown, Scotty. Oh, wait.
Oh, no, we have 6 guys left.
6.
Cat, Paul George, Trae Young.
I took Paul George.
Oh, you did take Paul George. You're right. Cat, Trae Young, Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brunson, Jaylen Brown, Scotty. So just 1 Western Conference guy and 5 Eastern Conference guys. As much as I don't think he's the best guy on the board, I just have to take the big. So give me Cat.
Yeah, you need him.
I just need him.
Yeah.
There's definitely better options on the board, but from a team building perspective, gonna need Cat on the squad.
And that's where I go Brunson. If I need a guard that just takes care of the ball, Tyrese and Dame both getting crazy, getting mad that they're not getting the ball, I'll give Brunson. He can fit in that situation. He'll play off those guys well.
Brunson was a guy I debated taking over Booker at the time, and then now he fell all this way. So,
yeah.
Just because I've loved him this year. Okay, so we have...
Do we both have 10-man rosters
We both
now?
have 10-man rosters now. So these are just kind of our...
Yeah, these are our
players. Guys that, the plug-and-play guys that maybe you need them. Last year in the All-Star game, we saw a little snippet where people hated it, and I kind of low-key didn't mind it. When Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum just played 1v1 for 4 straight possessions.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Jaylen Brown because you have Tatum. Maybe that happens again this year. That was cool, I thought, last year because they were actually getting tough buckets on each other.
And you didn't want me to have that teammate chemistry.
Definitely not. You already have Dame and Giannis. I can't be having more of that.
Yeah, for real. We're just making the Eastern Conference super, the only good players from the Eastern Conference all on one team. Yeah, it's just between Maxey and Scotty Barnes here. And
you have Trae Young on the board too.
And no. I'm going to go with Maxey. You know what? Maxey's perfect to play with Jokic.
Yeah, he would be a lot of fun to play
Maxey and Jokic would
those
be
dribble
nice,
handoffs
dude.
would be. Already him and Embiid. Obviously,
yeah, they do them great together. Embiid does them great with.
Yeah, give me Trae Young for sure. I think getting Trae this late is phenomenal. A guy that could go off in the All-Star game.
30 and 10.
Put him and Steph on the floor together. We're just gonna chuck deep threes.
And we're gonna post up.
It's the All-Star game. So you get Scotty Barnes. So let me read to you the final rosters, and you guys can let us know who would win. Easton's team. In the starting lineup is Jokic, Giannis, Tatum, Tyrese, Halliburton, and Dame. My starters are Luka, KD, Shea, LeBron, and Bam. Easton's off the bench is Anthony Davis, Paul George, Paulo, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, and Scotty Barnes. And my reserves are Kawhi, Steph, D-Book, Donovan Mitchell, Cat, Jaylen Brown, and Trae Young. I think my squad wins.
My squad is so big.
My squad's huge. Luka and Shea. Who's guarding either of those guys?
Dude, I have and Tatum. They're sitting in that chair, dude.
That's just the Walmart version of the 2 guys I just said. Okay, let's just not talk about anything else. Let's just get into this 2K draft.
We don't need to talk about it.
We're going to talk a little bit about, what teams are, feel like true contenders and talk a little bit about the Pistons and everything. If you want to hear some NBA, talk, last week with Matt, we did a big in-depth NBA talk after the trade deadline. You can listen to that because we don't got time to talk about all this.
He's a better NBA guy.
Right.
He just watches more.
Who's your favorite right now?
Favorite guy?
Favorite team to win the title?
Oh,
this is the slate talk we'll do.
Yeah, in the West, I don't like either.
The West
any
is
of them.
absurd.
I don't like anybody to win the championship. I'd probably right now I'll go with Clippers. Just because like
It's kind of the team I'm leaning towards.
but like in all honesty, I don't like them when they play the Celtics. Like the Celtics take them.
I think the Celtics are in their own tier, not just in the East, like in general in the NBA.
But I don't know, dude. A Zubac KP matchup, like if that happens, let's you put Al Horford on the floor the whole time and put KP at the 4. It could get ugly.
Here's the reason why I think OKC is still getting a little bit slept on.
Might be able to take advantage of KP. By the way, a little bit. I think he might
I think
be able
they both could with each other.
I think he could really like hang with him.
But like Horford probably just gets that
start, right?
Probably like in that specific. No, you got to start Derek White and Drew.
You just have to.
Yeah, I don't know. Horford also has been.
No, KP has to play the 5 because KP can't.
No, I mean he always does.
George
Yeah,
or Kawhi.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want that matchup.
That's a good. Yeah, that's it. I would be interested to see how that would work. This is why I think OKC. We'll do this quickly. Is a little bit of a like. Maybe getting a little too much of they're not experienced, like they probably won't go far. Because historically, if you're not a top 10 offense and top 10 defense, you like can't win the championship or whatever. That's like been a thing. And then 2 years ago when the Warriors won it all, or was that 2022 when the Warriors won it all, they were the first team in like X amount of years to do it. I think in like 20 years, I think since the Pistons, I'm pretty sure, to not be they weren't a top 10 offense. They were a top 10 defense, won the championship. Nuggets also did it last year. They were I wrote it down there, 15th in defense last year, won the championship. So it's kind of thrown out the window now a little bit.
Okay, it's just
but right now, the only 2 teams in the NBA that are top 10 in offense and defense are the Boston Celtics. Obviously, they're number 1 in offense, number 3 in defense. And OKC is 4th in offense and 4th in defense. Even like the Milwaukee Bucks, 17th in defense. Great in offense, they're 5th. The LA Clippers, 3rd in offense, 13th in defense. Like they're close. They're hovering that line. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a little bit eye-opening to me that OKC's top 5 in both. And no other teams other than Boston is top 10 in both.
And the never thing is always interesting because, like, until somebody does it, nobody's done it. Does that make sense?
Say that again.
Until somebody does it, nobody's done it.
Right.
So, like, we can say, well, nobody's done it, and that's the reason the Thunder won't make it. But that doesn't make any sense. Because just because nobody's done it doesn't mean this Thunder team can't.
Yeah.
They could be the first to do it. I think it's the easy way out to say the Thunder can't do it because they're inexperienced. Tell me why. Because you're right. Defensively, they're fine. Offensively, they're great. Like they're both on.
And they just added Gordon Hayward, who I think can bring a huge plus to them late in games in playoffs.
No Giddey, man. No Giddey.
Probably no Giddey. Yeah, exactly. And it takes away because I mean they already go no Giddey a good amount with Isaiah Joe or Wiggins, and then now you have Hayward in that spot. It just gives you more flexibility.
And you obviously wish they would have gotten a true big, but
a true big just helps, like it doesn't make you a championship winner. It just helps,
I mean, you don't need one.
Yeah, like let's just see how this works.
Right? Do you need a true big?
I mean, not to play. I don't think the whole thing is to play next to Chet the whole time. It's just to have that. They don't really have a true big rebounding screen setting big.
Like who matches up with Looney?
And that's why Matt continuously brought this up, and I completely agree with him. Like Andre Drummond would have been the perfect guy for this Thunder squad.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, it would have been, man.
Just to be coming off the bench, get rebounds, set big screens, roll, and it could play next to Chet in a situation where you're playing against a bigger team in the playoffs.
As Drummond has transitioned into a role player, he's just gotten.
He's a phenomenal role player.
He's a phenomenal dude. When you don't treat him like he's the star of your franchise, and he's your backup.
He's gonna get a decent payday this offseason, as a backup. Like he'll get back up above 10.
How old is he? 29.
Yeah, something like that. Like he's not old, which is so weird.
Weird.
I don't think he's 30, which is crazy. Yeah, he's gonna be back above 10 M's this year. He's been playing on basically the minimum the last couple of years, below $5 million. He's going to probably get back up above $10 million this upcoming offseason.
He is 30 years old.
He's 30 on the dot. Okay.
30 on the dot.
God, he seems like he's 50.
He's just been around my whole life. Are you in the braces?
All right, it's time. We're not going to talk about the Pistons because who really cares? We are doing our top 10 2K GOATs personally. Now, this list is, I don't want to hear the flack with this list.
Yeah.
This is a personal list. Based off of, since we've been playing 2K, when was the first 2K that you played?
My first one was 2K11. Was that the one with Jordan on the cover?
Yes. 2012.
It was one of those two. It had Jordan on the cover, and then you could play through all of his finals matches.
I think that was 11. I believe that was 11.
Yeah, I think it was 11 too.
I think he was on 12 as well, though, wasn't he?
He might have been. What was 10? What was the cover of 10?
I don't know. My first one was the same as you. It was either 11 or 12. It was the Jordan one.
Oh, I played NBA Live 10 with Dwight Howard on the cover.
Oh,
Dwight
really?
Howard
I never once played an NBA Live.
Oh, NBA Live 10 was fun, dude.
So the one that had the one that had Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose, and KD, the three dudes, was that 13 or was that 12?
That was 13. The three dudes was 13.
That was the first one I played on the Xbox 360. I played my first 2Ks on the Wii.
No.
Yes.
No
I
way.
played 2K on the Wii, which was very difficult to play.
NBA 2K. Okay, so my first one was NBA 2K11, but he also was on 2K12.
Jordan was?
Jordan was
That's
on
what I
both
thought.
years,
It's
back to back.
So I think 12 was my first one, but like I played it on the Wii. The 2K13 was the first one I played on the Xbox, and then
Game had a tough soundtrack. And I didn't play 10 because that was Kobe on the cover. I did not play NBA 2K10.
I didn't either. Yes, 12 was
mine
my first one. So basically the way we're doing this is like the way that I at least kind of built it was like if I could build my 2K all-time squad, I'm throwing the best version of this guy on it. That's kind of how I like made this list to some extent. We're just saying these are the 10 best guys that we have used in 2K ever. It doesn't have to be specific like some of these are specific for me. Like I know the exact 2K that this guy was in where he was so good. But for the most part, it's just generalized. Like these are the best 2K guys that we've used personally.
Yep. I've got like some honorable mentions.
I have plenty of honorable mentions as well.
So let's go through them.
Let's go through them.
I've got a couple guys who are just like too new onto the scene for me to add them. Mellow Ball, like LaMelo Ball is just so.
He had that
tough.
one. Remember when he was coming out of high school? Him and Ant and James Wiseman had those cards like before they were even in the NBA. Those cards were so cold in 2K20. That would have been
Mobley in that.
That was a year prior.
Yeah, that was a year prior.
Or after.
Current Tatum. You put me on NBA 2K24 with Tatum. You can't guard me.
Yeah.
He's got gold limitless range. And like he'll shoot on the move. His jump shot's easy.
Yep.
Like current Tatum's unbelievable. And he's got like a 7-foot player build. I
Yeah.
swear he's bigger than they don't make him 6'9".
I also like the Celtics are the best play now online team, which obviously like because of the best team in the NBA, but like that they are so good
and 2K oriented. Both bigs shoot threes.
Exactly.
Like
dude.
it's
like
so easy to run five.
Just run
out.
point guard with Jaylen Brown or Tatum and then just go for it. Yeah.
And my last honorable mention was the 2014 Lob City Clippers. The whole team. You could Danny Granger, unbelievable in that game. JJ Redick, unbelievable. Jamal Crawford, crazy. And then you had Blake Griffin, who was better than LeBron in that game. Like Blake Griffin would go toe to toe with LeBron and just dunk on him. That team was unbelievable. And so I didn't want to pick one of those guys, like two of them, because like I thought, I was originally like Danny Granger could make my team. I really like his cards in 2K.
Yeah.
But I just said let's put the whole Clippers team on there.
So, like, the way I also built this list, and I think yours is probably similar, most of these guys are my team oriented. Most of them are, like, from playing my team.
Yep.
But I also haven't played my team the last 2K cycles.
Yep.
I didn't touch my team. I just chose not to.
Well, in this year, there's no auction house. So, like, how could you?
There's no auction house?
Yeah, they ruined it. They've took out the auction house. The only way to get cards is through packs and challenges.
Seriously?
And, like, you have to buy them with MT. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's terrible. Like, I turned it on.
Just
Nobody plays
on
it.
Next Gen 2K, probably?
No, on current Gen 2K.
Seriously?
If you go right now, you cannot find the auction house.
I did
There
not
isn't
know
one.
that.
It's just like, and like that ruined it. They totally ruined it. And like nobody's playing it right now.
There's no way there's no auction
Dude,
house.
there's no auction
Oh,
house.
that is really weird.
So wrong.
But yeah, anyways, I haven't played my team last 2Ks, but I still play like a couple months, like a month or so ago, I went through a really hard play now online stretch.
Yep.
So still play 2K. So a lot of this is from players from Play Now and everything, but most of them are from my team oriented. So my honorable mentions, I have a few more than you. Eddie Curry was one of my initial honorable mentions. Go backup center
For real.
in my team.
Shoots
Just a
threes.
phenomenal. Shoots
Huge.
threes. He's big. Moves quickly. He had a couple cards that you could literally run point guard with, basically, because he had the quick enough ball speed. Danny Granger was one of my honorable mentions. Rudy Gay, missing the list, is a tough one because he's like one of the OG 2K
He's OG.
goats. Like,
he's been good for 10 years.
Always would get a card at the beginning of the cycle, like a good like amethyst card that is just going to be on your squad for at least a month and a half.
Because his jump shot's going to be money. Like,
Yeah.
even when he's not your main
And he can
ball
dunk on
handler,
everybody.
He's going to be your third guy. And he's going to be
Exactly. J.R. Smith was so hard to leave off of the list because he had a diamond card in like 2K19 or 2K18 that was just, it had the most wet jump shot of all, one of the top
Unbelievable.
2K jump shots ever. And you could run him at point guard as well. Clyde Drexler is such a personal one for me. I've always loved playing with Clyde Drexler. He's always been like a good bench wing to have in 2K. He missed my list. Kristaps Porzingis missed my list. Always a center that you want in 2K. But also the centers in general just aren't like the top guys to pick really for best 2K. Like most of my lists are like guards and wings.
So part of what me and you too, like, and I thought about this because I was like, there's probably a lot more bigs that need to be on my list. But I thought as like slightly budget 2K players, we weren't totally budget teams. Like we'd buy packs, but like majority
We're mainly budget though.
Mainly budget
Before the end of this cycle.
You have to. The wing cards are always cheaper than the big set, the best center.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to go get Galaxy Opal Wilt the day it comes out.
Or
so like,
like that.
we have to settle at big.
That one Kareem card that was just like absurd in 2K21. I think like. Couldn't get that guy. He was a million MT.
Like we were the only time it ever happened was when Willie pulled point guard T-Mac.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He
sold him for. Remember I pulled that Opal Michael Jordan. That was the year where I didn't play much 2K. My team.
You had like 1.2 million.
Yeah, I sold him for like a crazy amount, and I just sat on it. Yeah, I don't even know if I ever bought anybody. That card was really good. And then my last guy is who did I say? Two more guys. I didn't put Steph Curry on my list strictly because I've personally never been great with Steph Curry. A lot of people are very good with Steph, and he's more personally to me a play now, like just go and play. Like you get the Warriors, like Steph can go off. So I had to put him as an honorable mention, but I've never been phenomenal with Curry in 2K. And also, like, he broke the 2K, like, 16 Curry, I think that was, when Limitless Range was introduced, and he was, like, the only one that had it, basically. It was pretty crazy.
And Limitless Range was OP that game. Like, it was at the moment you crossed half.
And 17 was when it was really OP, because 16, I think, is when it got introduced, but, like, only Steph had it, and then 17, they were like, we're just going to hand it out.
Everybody
And that was when it had the best, my favorite shot meter in 2K history was when the one that was underneath, and it just filled up green. I just loved that shot meter for some because I don't like that. I am nowadays too. Like once that got introduced, I like that more. But when that first happened, I was like, that shot meter's awesome. I never used it after that 2K. And then the last guy is a guy that I know was on your list, Penny Hardaway. I included in my honorable mentions. But you've always used him.
I'm the Penny guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you give me a Penny card, I might not.
So do we want to guess each other's guys now or after?
Yeah, I want to guess. I've just got 3 names that are just on
I have 4 names other than Penny that I know are going to be on your list.
Is Isaac Bonga on your list?
We'll see.
Joe Smith?
Nope.
Okay, Paul George?
Potentially.
Yeah. Okay.
Pulling Bonga's crazy.
I just knew it. Yeah. I mean, you were so good. You would go toe to toe with my you would use it'd be like an 86 overall card.
Oh yeah,
you could work him against my Penny Hardaway.
He was my I will talk about it. He's on my list. Obviously, I'll talk about him more. Okay, so the guys that I know are on your list, you don't really have to say. Probably one of them are because it is 5. Penny Hardaway, Scottie Pippen, Hedo Turkoglu, Zach LaVine, and Bol Bol. Those are the guys that I wrote down for you.
Interesting.
That I think are on your list.
Interesting.
So we'll see. All right, go ahead. Give me your number 10.
My number 10 is 2K14 Josh Smith. I had to include my favorite play now Piston of all time, and 2K14 Josh Smith could do it all. Because that was like, oh my gosh, here's this power forward who can dunk the ball, and low key, he could for the time, he could shoot the 3 ball. He had like a 76 3. Jump shot was cash. Literally, I mean, you could make a dude rage quit playing with the Pistons, playing with Josh Smith, because he would get so frustrated. He might not know who the guy is. I mean, you might not know who Josh Smith is.
That's a good one. I don't have any Pistons on my list, so I'm happy that you included a Piston on yours. My number 10 is an ultra personal one because this guy, if you just would think, you would assume that this guy sucks in 2K. This is definitely a my team 2K card. Draymond Green is my number 10. 1 year, they had that point guard Draymond Green card that came out, and I used him for so long, and I called him Dray Money because his jump shot was green every single time, and he had speed boost. He was so good at point guard because you could just post up other guys. He was so big, he could rebound, but he was fast, and his jump shot was just so cash. Dray Money.
For a long time.
Used him for a long time. And then I think the following 2K, I just used like his diamond as my backup 4 for like a long time until I could find a better player. But yeah, personally for me, I've always enjoyed Draymond Green, my team card. So he's my number 10.
I remember that year because I think you had a big guard before I had a big guard, and it was Draymond, and like I would just get so mad at you because like you could just abuse him.
He just dominated.
My number 9 is Rudy Gay. I mean, just the cleanest jump shot in 2K history. Sometimes they give him like a shooting guard card, and that's when he just would get turned up to a whole nother. They used to slide that dude to the 2. He's one of the best defenders in the game. He's gonna dunk on you, and the catch and shoot jump shot is like maybe automatic. A 98% like hit rate. You are gonna green that.
And not only is it that, but it's like when you first made your my player, and like you didn't even have time to look up like
jump shot builder.
What's the best jump shot? I'm just throwing on Rudy Gay jump shot for now.
You know what's gonna work,
and then I'll see what if I find something that's better. You know,
if it's better.
That's what I always would do. I'd throw on Rudy Gay jump shot, or I would throw on like Danny Granger jump shot. Like
those would be the two.
And like
those
that's
are the
it.
two
That's
guys.
what I'm rocking with.
Yep.
Vince Carter jump shot was always pretty cash too. Kind of similar, just it's a nice stand. It's simple.
Dwayne Wade had a jump shot.
He's
not on my list, but Dwayne Wade had a year.
Dwayne Wade was my first ever pink diamond in 2K. That was like it was before opals were introduced. I think it was
20 was the big year.
I think 19 was the year of the pink where pink diamonds were 99 because I got Dwayne Wade in a locker code. I was a huge locker code guy that year. Like that was when locker codes were actually like real.
Yeah.
Only the first 2,000 people get them or whatever, and I would grind to get them, and I did. And I had that Dwayne Wade card, and he was nasty. But he's not on my list either.
Dwayne Wade had some good cards over the years. The jump shot.
He probably should have made my
jump shot. He's money.
He probably should have made
94 diamond for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So your number 9 was Rudy Gay.
Yep.
Yeah. He's one of the like OGs of 2K for sure. My number 9 is Isaac Bonga.
Yep.
Bonga was just, I think it was 2K21, I'm pretty sure, where he had that amethyst card that I got him. He comes out early in the cycle, and I used him for so long. I mean, like, he's my backup point guard for, like, damn near basically until endgame, until, everybody's like 10,000 MT, and then I can get someone that's maybe better. But Bonga's on the bench. He's the 12th man. Like, I'm including him there because he's that good. His jump shot is funky, but he's got that hitch where, like, you know when to release the ball. So it's green every time. He's so tall. He dunks on everybody. He's long. He's really skinny, but his build in 2K was just so good. And he never got a card better than, like, a diamond. But it didn't matter. Like, I didn't care about the overall. He was that
emerald
good.
card would get used a ton. If you were playing in, like, my team limited. If he has an emerald card, it's on everybody's team.
Yeah.
You have to use it because it's that good.
And I remember that year I played a lot of Triple Threat online, and I would love to see how many games I played with Isaac Bonga in Triple Threat. I think I had an a diamond contract on Isaac Bonga. That's how much I used him.
And that was the thing with Triple Threat online about using the like lower tier cards is you get matched up with the other lower tier cards. So you get matched up with all of a sudden you're like playing 90 overall. I can't think of a meh point guard.
And Allen Iverson.
It's like, oh, my Bonga's going to torch you.
Yeah.
Like, you are going to get eaten
and
alive.
Bonga's really a 99 in disguise.
He's one of your greatest 2K players. Like, most frustrating guy to play against because of his overall combined.
And he's so good.
My number 8 is like, are you done with Isaac Bonga?
Yes.
My number 8 is a guy who's near and dear to both of our hearts, and I wonder if you remembered him, and that's why I didn't think.
I know he is. He is number 5 on my list, guaranteed.
Number 8. 2K20, Dino Raja.
Yep. I knew it.
Every year after that Dino Raja card came out, we had to scour for who was going to be the next one. Because he was one of the most impactful players ever. Like,
in 2K.
Best defensive player I've ever played with, other than his flagrant foul issue.
I forgot about that.
He would get a flagrant foul every 3 games. It was like, what in the world?
Oh, my God.
But the jump shot, straight cash. And it was like a 78-3.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Didn't matter. He was going to catch it and knock it down with somebody in his, every single time, and he would dunk on you. He had great handles. He had the slow, sweeping crossover for the fast breaks, and defensively, he was like 6'11", but was massive.
Honestly, better to even play him at the 4 than it was at the 5. Like,
I played him at the 4
if you get another big that was just a little bit taller and could also shoot, like, Dino was perfect at the 4.
Was he baby KD, like, those years? Like low key.
I mean, like basically, because like you could just snatch. Like he had quick stop. You could snatch back threes with him. Like he was so. Yeah, I'll talk about him more when he's obviously on my list.
He's a beast.
So and he had multiple runs in 2K, but that first year was like the initial like.
Because we were all like, who is
this? He's so good. Please release an Opal card of him, and then they did, and he was cheap.
Yeah, it was the fan favorites collection.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, because he had like that. I think he was like a diamond. I'm pretty sure a pink diamond.
Yeah.
For the longest time, and it was like my squad is full opals, and I'm still rocking Dino Raja pink diamond or whatever.
And he was an early card. Like
Yeah.
this pink diamond was in the game early.
He was incredible. I'll talk about him a little bit more. My only other big on this list, other than Dino Raja, is my number 8. It's David Robinson. If you don't know who to get as your center, you get any version of David Robinson because he gets every rebound, and it don't matter if he has a 25 3-pointer. His jump shot is so money that it does not matter. If he's in the corner, you will make threes with him. It could be a 50, and you will make threes with him.
He was a frustrating card to play against. He was just massive, and you could run 5 out with him.
His build in 2K is just, it's just like in real life. He's got the huge burly shoulders. He's got long arms. He could also dribble a little bit too, and his jump shot is just so cash. It is, especially from the corners. You need a big in 2K and don't even like want to do much research on who. Go find David Robinson. That's who it is.
He was quite literally like a superhero out there.
Yeah.
I mean, he runs around like a superhero. He's got the arms. He looks like Superman if he was 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
My number 7 is a guy you mentioned already and did make your list, but it's J.R. Smith. You go all the way back to J.R. Smith on the Cavaliers and play now. Go like his jump shot is so money. And then when he got that card in 2K. Like the My Team card, it was an early card. Then he got his pink diamond. Then he got
like
an opal.
amethyst or something.
He got all of them, and every card was like, yeah, if he has a point guard version, you must play it. He was so good because he would dunk on you. He was 6'4". He could shoot from anywhere. Those J.R. Smith runs were crazy.
I forget, someone else had the same jump shot as him, and I can't remember who it was, but both of those cards were just phenomenal. Do you remember Joe Caldwell too? I had a run with him.
That's the Joe I meant to say. I said Joe Smith.
Oh, okay. Joe Caldwell's who you meant.
Joe Caldwell.
Yeah, dude. Remember him? I rocked with him for a while that one
time.
year.
And it was just a big diamond.
He had the Dwayne Wade jump shot, like that one. Because I could just quick stop with him dude, the quick stop year of 2K, I think it was 2K20.
Yeah.
When
2K20.
quick stopping was the thing, dude. I got so good at that.
So good. I could shoot all the time.
It was like, you give me an inch of space and it's green.
Dude.
God, I miss that,
who is somebody I'm forgetting and you might have forgotten about him? Cam Reddish. No, he didn't forget. He's on the list.
Just wait.
I just remembered him.
Yeah.
He was the Paul George dude.
But Joe Caldwell definitely is up there.
He was the Hawks
guy. I thought about putting him on my list.
Joe Caldwell was that good.
And the only reason I didn't put him as an honorable mention was because I only used him for one 2K ever.
Yep.
And I never had him in Play Now because I don't even know if he existed in Play Now, So, okay, my number 8, or my number 7. Wait, you just said your number 7?
Who did I say? I said Dino Raja.
You said JR.
Yep, that's my 7.
Okay, my number 7 is Paul George. Paul George is just like one of the best wings you can have in 2K. Jump shots, always money. Dunks on you, plays defense. Like, doesn't do anything spectacular. Never going to be your best scorer. But in every 2K, he's so good. Like, every year, every 2K, get him a good card, and he is elite. So that's why he's my number 7.
6'9" shooting guard, year after year after year after year. He can dribble, he shoots, he dunks.
Like, I can guarantee you there was a Paul George on my team every single 2K that I played my team. Every single year there was a version of him on it. So he has to make the list.
Yeah, he makes the roster at some point. I will go and get the Paul George card and say, let's try it out. Let's see if it's
and then you try it out,
thing.
and it's like, yeah, obviously he's good.
Yeah, his jump shot's money. Everything about him's money.
Number 6.
My number 6 is Zach LaVine. I mean, he just nailed it. He could just fly in some of these 2Ks. It was run. If you got a fast break, run, press X. He will either get dunked, get fouled, or if you really want, and this is where it got really tricky. You do that the whole game, snatch back, boom, 3 in your face because his jump shot was money. You were
always really good with LaVine.
So good.
I never used him very much.
I love
Ivan was good with Zach LaVine too.
I love the combination guys who can just the run and press X combined with the snatch threes.
Yes.
Like you just get so OP.
The slashing guards that also can hit deep threes are the best guards in the game, obviously because of that exact reason. Yeah, you said it. My number 6 is just the better version of Paul George, and it's Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish had 2 straight years in 2K where he was just elite. He had the diamond card that I used for so long, and they gave him an opal in the fan favorite series in 2K20 or 21. It's one of the two. And then the following year, had basically the same exact thing happen, and he's just a better version of Paul George. He is Paul George, same exact attributes and everything. He's just a little bit bigger in the game. He's just like an inch taller, and he's burlier, and he moves a little bit better than Paul George does.
He's just a little faster.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's weird. There. Like and I would use Cam Reddish as my lead guard a little bit more than I would with Paul George. But Cam Reddish is just one of those guys that like you're running the pick and roll with your guard and your big. I'm gonna swing it to Cam Reddish for a 3, like if there's an inch of space, because it's so cash. That's why I put these guys back to back, because Cam Reddish was just that inch better than Paul George in 2K. Don't know why. He just was, and it was awesome. Yeah, I used him for so long.
He was the man. I mean, and I didn't even think about him until I was like sitting here reading my list right now. Yeah, it was like, oh my gosh, Sandal's gonna have Cam Reddish on his
And then
list.
The best part is when you have Cam Reddish and Paul George on the floor together, and you're just like, I have 2 of the same guys on the floor right now. It's awesome.
Identical, because you would do that 2K. You'd be like, okay, I love my starting guard. Can I go find somebody that's got the exact same stats, attributes, just stick him on the bench?
Exactly. In the top 5.
This is my top 5 greatest players of all time. I wish I would have put a big man in here so I could have like a starting 5, but I don't. I have 2 low guard heavy. My number 5 is Penny Hardaway. Every 2K, the moment his card drops, I'm sitting there until it gets cheap enough, or I might sell the whole team to get him, because he'll be my point guard at the end of the year until I get frustrated with his jump shot, because it always comes where the thing about Penny Hardaway, since he is a natural point guard. He gets one of the first big point guard cards.
Yeah,
of the
and they
game.
always give him a shitty 3.
Shitty 3, meh jump shot. And then he gets like his 98 card, and that's good. But like when they start tossing the other big guards, like they start giving a Jason Tatum point guard card, he can't compete with those type of guys. But when his first card drops, he's going to be one of the best point guards until that series or that section of my team comes where everybody's getting an OP card.
Penny was phenomenal. You always used that's why I made him an honorable mention, because I would use him sometimes, but like that was you always had
I would use
Penny.
him for 6 straight 2Ks.
Yeah.
I mean, every single he's my Paul George actually.
Yeah.
Every year I'm gonna try out all of his cards. I'm gonna try out his Ruby card that played for the Suns. Like,
dude, another guy that I thought that I should have included was Pete Maravich. I had a span of having Pete Maravich on the squad. Couldn't dunk though, so that was
struggle with the little shooters.
Yeah.
And like he's similar to J.R. Smith's on here, but he was yamming. He was yamming that ball. I struggled. Like, I didn't have 2K.
I would love to hear Ivan's list.
Because Paul's going to go Kyrie.
It's all little guards. Yeah.
Kyrie, Steph Curry.
I'm just trying to think of the guys he would use in 2K.
He might say Ty Lawson.
Jerry West. Like, he had that one Jerry West.
He would put Pistol Pete on there.
Yeah.
He loves Pistol Pete.
I know who's number 1 is, but I don't want to spoil it because it's obviously it's going to be on both of our lists, I assume.
We both know.
Okay. My number 5 is Dino Raja. Yeah, Dino Raja is just a guy that you didn't know existed until I played 2K with him, and he was so phenomenal, and he really was like this. Like if you didn't have Dino Raja on your team, you either had millions of MT to get the Kareems and the Wilts, or you just were stupid.
Didn't know.
Like Dino was so good. You even on a million MT squad or whatever, where you had unlimited MT. You probably still have Dino Raja on your squad.
He could fit in.
Because he was that good. And his jump shot was there was something about it. It was just
there was a flick at the end.
Yeah, and there was a flick. And it made it green. Yeah, like you knew when it was green every time. Yeah, Dino was just, and he could dribble. Like, you could literally play it 5-out ISO with Dino. You have a slower big on him. This is easy buckets, every time.
Torture that guy.
Yeah, the only downfall, though, was, like you said, he would get flagrant fouls. He would punch dudes in the middle of the games. It's like, and it would come in crucial moments.
It was like they built that in. They're like, this card is too OP. We got to do something.
That's so funny. All right, number 4.
My number 4. I just think him and Penny Hardaway right back to back, because I don't think he's literally one of the greatest 2K players ever, but he's a personal guy, and that's Hedo Turkoglu.
Yeah,
he is just.
Another guy that you have every year.
And again, the jump shot ain't stupid, but I can get it. It's super.
It's quick.
Fast.
It's the quickest jump shot there is.
So fast,
and it can hurt you sometimes because it's so fast.
Well, and it's so fast that you start just shooting with Hedo Turkoglu. Like I score 30 straight with him. I won't be able to. My next shot with Cam Reddish is going to be a total miss.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to release that thing crazy early. Because his jump shot, as soon as you clicked X, it was out of his hands.
Yeah.
You were like, the final ending of the shot might be when the ball was at the midpoint. Like, that's when you had to release that thing.
Yeah, that thing was. Yeah, I had rocked Hidu a little bit too. Like I would usually have a version of Hidu at some point, but not like you. You definitely would have. And he had a point guard card a couple of years too, and that card is just like absolutely ridiculous.
He had like limitless range, crazy handles, dumb fast. He wasn't slow ever. And he was slow. Like Turkoglu was not some fast guy.
He was, and that's he definitely is the one guy that's like he has an inch of space. It's gonna be green because of how fast he shoots.
So fast.
All right, top 3 or top 4, yes. My number 4 is more of a guy actually that is I never really used him in my team that much. He has become like a play now GOAT for me. And it's Kobe. I got Kobe at number 4. When we did that little 2K League series thing this year at the beginning of the cycle, like with you, me, Ivan, and Nate and Jake.
That was fun. I wish we would have finished
Kobe.
that.
Yeah, I know. I had Kobe, and I would just go nuclear with Kobe every game. Like it was just something about his release this year. I never had him in my team that much. But in Play Now online too, I used that Lakers like throwback squad with Shaq and like the tier 2 thing all the time because Kobe's just so good. Like I just run point guard with Kobe coming off screens. You give me an inch, it's green. I'll go to the hoop, dunk. Like recently, that's the only really recent Kobe or guy that I have on my list, and it's Kobe.
I've never been a Kobe guy.
Yeah, he was never like super great in my team, I feel like.
Never. Like
but just this specific 2K, which like I said, I didn't play my team. He's been so crazy good.
I got to use him one day. I really wish we would have finished that league. I was having so much fun in that league. So much fun, man. But some people ruined it.
Maybe we'll just have to like draft between you and me and just play a series.
We do that. We've done that before.
We have done that before.
I had the Bulls. You had the Warriors.
The Warriors. I think. Yeah, that was fun. Okay, top 3.
This is like the 3 GOATs. And I think we'll have the same 3. My number 3 is Tracy McGrady. The most money jump shot. Literally, he's all these guys mixed together.
I think we'll have the same
roids.
3. Now I'm just trying to think.
I think. I mean, unless you don't have T-Mac.
I feel like my number 3. No, I obviously do. I feel like my number 3 you won't have.
But Tracy McGrady, if you've ever played 2K, he's just the best. Yeah. I mean, Play Now, my team, he's gonna have the best cards or 2 of the best in both.
Yeah. So I'm worried that I'm forgetting someone because personally, I think the top 2 are pretty undisputable. Like if you've ever played 2K, those are the 2 best 2K players ever. And you had T-Mac 3rd.
So am I forgetting somebody?
No. I think I'm forgetting somebody. Like I think that since you saying like the top 3 are obvious, and I think that it's the top 2 are obvious, and my 3rd guy I think is more of a personal one. I'm worried that I'm forgetting someone.
You forgot a guy.
Yeah, but I also think I know who you think I forgot, and I personally just never thought they were that crazy.
Then you're wrong.
Okay, that's fine.
I can't wait for you to hear.
I'll talk more about T-Mac when I get to him. Yeah, but for sure. My number 3 is James Harden. I have always been Harden's like my backup point guard, basically like every 2K. In that same league thing this year, I had him, and he's just so cash. His little hitch jump shot for some reason is so cash. He's a bigger point guard that can throw it down. He had limitless range in all those 2Ks. He was just I would always have James Harden either as my starter or backup for basically every my team cycle, and he was just dominant. Like I would run through like Russell Westbrook. I had a stretch with Russ, but Harden, give me an Opal Harden, and he will stay on the squad forever. I love Harden in 2K. So
Harden's a beast.
He's a personal like number 3 for sure.
Yeah, Harden didn't make my list. Harden.
So I know
I've never used him in 2K.
I know who your top 2 are. I think I know who the one is, obviously, but the other one who I missed, I think I know who it is.
I'll let you guess.
It's Michael Jordan.
No.
Okay, it's not. Because I was saying, I didn't think Jordan was that. Like, he would
this
have
dude
years.
isn't even like a personal dude. I think a lot of people would be like, yeah, this guy is like him.
Did I put him in my honorable mentions?
You haven't named this guy. And by the way, my number 2 is Kevin Durant.
Oh, no. Really?
But
who did I forget?
Okay, honestly, that might just be. The fact that KD is number 2 is a personal thing. Because of the number 1, he's probably not better than KD historically.
Okay,
but KD is literally like he's Timothy. He is He's the greatest player.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. And like Wemby eventually, I think,
Who
is
did
going to
I
be
forget, dude?
If we play 2K till 2K32, Wemby will be.
I was
everybody's
just thinking
favorite
about
card.
that actually because I haven't used Wemby like literally once in 2K.
He's unbelievable.
Because I haven't even played with the Spurs online either. Like I never played with Wemby once. I saw he got a 99 card in my team that can play small forward or something, which is pretty funny. Also, I think like Luka will start to get like because the Luka in Play Now Online is so good.
Yeah.
So I think he'll get up there too eventually. But yeah, Wemby is.
Mellow Ball is somebody who can do it.
Give it like 2 years and Wemby will be on this list.
I played against Wemby. It was one of my first Play Now Online games, and he had like 40. Like I literally could not stop him.
I think current Jokic is really good too, dude. Current Jokic is really good.
He can shoot it, and his jump shot's money.
His jump shot's money, which he's had 2Ks where his jump shot sucks, so it's nice that it's money. Yeah, I think that personally, I think T-Mac and KD are like easily the GOATs of 2K, so I'm worried.
And maybe my number one should have slid to 3. Maybe then, and I'll let that debate happen.
But the fact that I don't even have him on the list or honorable mentions is I definitely just probably forgot about him.
I think so.
Yeah, my number 2 is Kevin Durant. I put KD. I'll just say it. I mean, it's pretty obvious. My number 2 is Kevin Durant. My number 1 is T-Mac. KD, just like you said, like if you don't have a version of KD on my team literally at all times, 24/7, you're just not going to succeed.
You're at a disadvantage.
Yeah. I would have a version of KD on the squad. Literally the whole, like I would never not have a KD.
Yeah. It didn't matter if he was the power forward, the small forward, the shooting guard, or the point guard.
Exactly.
You needed a version.
And once the better version comes out, you save up and get that version because he's just that good. And even in Play Now. Like in Play Now Online, there's not many guys in current 2K cycle, in just not even throwback, just current NBA players. I think KD's the top dude I'm taking. Like if I had to pick one guy, it's probably him. That's how good he is in 2K. And then T-Mac. T-Mac is just something else. He is the ultimate definition of can dunk on anybody and can snatch back and hit deep threes. Like he's the ultimate definition of that. That was the guy who I said Ivan would also have him as number 1 because Ivan was always so good with T-Mac. Everybody's so good with T-Mac.
He's the easiest guy in the world.
He's the best version of. He's Michael Jordan and Kobe, like way better versions of those guys in 2K.
I swear his green window is like a second long. You could release his jump shot at any point. You'll get a green.
And he's 6'9". Like he in the game, he's so
he
big.
Shoot, like even in Play Now, he is a sniper because of his jump shot.
Yeah,
this guy
he's
wasn't some sniper in the NBA.
I mean, even in the ratings, like in Play Now, he might have a 78 3-ball, and it's like it doesn't matter, dude. It's gonna be cash, and especially that in 2K17, he had that diamond card that was when Limitless Range got like incredibly OP or whatever. That card was the best card ever in the game. And I ended up getting it, I think, late in the cycle when it got cheap or whatever. But yeah, that was.
I'd love to go look at my.
And
2K.
Willie,
I'm gonna go home tonight and look at my 2K
facts.
games.
And Willie got the Opal version.
Opal point guard.
Opal point guard.
That was like
T-Mac.
2K21.
I think so. Yeah.
And that was just. I remember I think I was over. Like we were all.
Because that was when we were in a
crazy.
stretch where like I was actually opening packs basically every promo that came out. I would rip a $20 bundle.
Which is just bad.
Which
was
is
bad
like
for our health.
I mean that's like once a week.
Yeah, that's a lot of money too. I
And
mean, that
never
adds up.
pull shit.
You
And then
never
Willie
did.
did.
And I would pull some good stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'd pull a good card over here and again. But Willie's
pack luck was incredible. Even in the show, dude. His pack luck in MLB The Show is really good.
You know how
too.
frustrating it is? Because like he goes and plays us, and we could smoke it. Like unless he's got the
And
all
he don't even
99 team.
play either. He
No.
just like likes ripping packs.
For real, dude. He would get like these insane players, use them twice,
Never play
and
online
then never
game,
play
yeah.
again. Never play again.
Okay, you're number 1.
My number 1 is 2K14. Any guesses? He played the shooting guard.
Oh, is it Gerald Green?
It's Gerald Green.
Yeah.
It's 2K14 Gerald Green.
Yeah, you're right. I should have probably at least had him as a HM.
I mean, the 9-fingered assassin, the jump shot stupid, the dunk animations, a highlight reel every time.
Yeah.
I mean, he would 360 windmill on people. He is actually like the most, because of his overall, and this was a play now type of guy, and he did have the My Team cards. He eventually got those later when My Team became a thing. But at this time, it was really a play now type of game, and you would go and play as the Suns, and you could drop 80 with this guy. He could drop as many points as you wanted him to.
Yeah.
It'd be you if you were playing him versus the Clippers. It'd be Gerald Green and Jamal Crawford going back and forth, like and on floors of
awesome.
stars. Gerald Green. Oh, man. I can just remember how good I was with Gerald Green. He's my best 2K player I've ever played with.
Yeah, I definitely should have at least had him as an honorable mention. He was so good in Play Now. And even like later in 2Ks, like 2K 18, 19 and stuff, he would get like a ruby or amethyst card early in the really early in the game, and you would obviously have him. Like he would be on the squad until you could upgrade, obviously, and he was great.
Mm-hmm. He could shoot and he could dunk. Like, and he was always the most budgetist guy.
Yes,
like
always.
He was like a 75
5K, like
yes,
MT kind of guy. Yeah, and in like Play Now Online, obviously, yeah.
Like he's literally like a 75 overall, and he plays like a 95.
Yeah,
and that's where I was, and so that's like similar how like Dino makes it on the list. It's like he just outperformed who he was and his card and everything so often. And that's why I put him on there just for the surprise factor.
Yeah.
Like number one of like, you guys don't expect me to pick this guy.
That's a good one. Yeah, I definitely like saw when I was like trying to make sure I wasn't forgetting it. When I saw his name, and I guess I just like I didn't remember to put him down because he is like he's the Play Now guy.
Oh,
sure.
he was so good during the time. I saw a lot of Ty Lawson love, like 2011 Ty Lawson. And that's like before I played.
Yeah,
I
thought about AI a little bit. Like he's always good in Play Now, but in my team, he never was good in my team.
Yeah, he'd have some Play Now teams.
Play Now, he was good.
Paul could cook you. That's another guy that Paul might cook you with.
Yeah, for sure. And like in Play Now, I love AI, but. And LeBron, obviously, we didn't include LeBron. Like, he's solid in 2K. Like,
in 2K16, Curry is probably actually the best player. But, like, I don't play that way. That's not the way I play.
I was never that good with Steph anyways. Like, even right now, if we did a draft of just 10 dudes, I'm not taking Steph.
I'm going to miss his jump shot a lot.
Yeah.
Like, his jump shot is not easy for
sure, yeah.
Paul's got his jump shot. Oh, my gosh. Paul would have been awesome to be a third.
Yeah, we'll have to get his list as well because I would like to enjoy the guys that he included. That's going to do it, though, for today's episode. Thank you to Easton for hopping back into the studio and joining this week's episode. Thank you guys for listening, as always, and we'll probably see you next week for another episode. Peace.
Peace.